Women are still on alert after a Beacon Hill home invasion, sexual assault and robbery over the weekend, and then 2 assaults of teenage girls just last week in Roxbury. So Boston police are encouraging residents to be vigilant. But the big question is, in a worst-case scenario, would you really know what to do? I think a lot of us think we do, but joining us now is Pat Iapicca. He's a police detective, an instructor, and trainer, and you're here representing the Rape Aggression Defense System.
That's correct.
Which is something that sounds very complicated, but you're going to break it down into a couple moves that people should really think about, because the biggest mistake is thinking, it's not going to happen to me.
That's true. Good morning. Thank you. Rape Aggression Defense, commonly known as R.A.D.
Yep.
It's been around since 1989. It was developed actually by a police officer and a woman that was with Res Life in a college university setting. Unfortunately, they saw the need. They developed this program. And like I said, since 1989, it's been around. It's one of the largest self-defense programs in the country. Trained over 1 million women.
To help know what to do in those crazy situations where suddenly you go from walking along thinking everything's fine, and they say, you know what, you should always be aware of your surroundings. But
Correct.
I can tell you, as a woman, I think that I'm aware. I think I'm looking around into the shady corners and some guy that might look suspicious. But I don't know that I would know what to do if suddenly someone grabbed me. And that's always the news story. It's the women say someone approached them from behind, grabbed them from behind. So let's say somebody's walking along and a guy comes up behind them. What should that woman do? Okay,
well, that's a good point. If you have a woman that's been grabbed from behind and they're in a bear hug, for example, what our program focuses on is not what's been taken away, but rather what you have left. It all depends on how that woman's been grabbed. Because let's say if you grab with both arms are down, behind, what do you have left? Well, you have your head, which you can do.
Your head, your feet, right?
Your feet, yeah, so you can do a headbutt. You might have one of your arms are free, which may be able to do an elbow strike, all right, right into the groin, into the stomach section.
But your interesting point is, don't freak out and go, oh my gosh, my arms are glued to my side, it's done for. You just have to have a plan of action, what to do. But how do you have the thought, sort of the clarity of thought, to know? What do you teach people in your class as far as just staying calm and being able to, is it fight back or get away?
Our whole program is all about options. What we have the women try to focus on is not what's been taken away, but what do you have left. Verbalization is a key. Yes, if you're going to be grabbed, you are going to panic a little bit, but take that second to focus on what you have left, all right? And always think about what your plan of action, which you talked about. You walk into a room, where is your escape? If something was to happen, would not only just be an attack, but what about if there was a fire or so forth? Always know where your exit is. Have a plan of action, because your chances of survival increase when you realize that you have a plan of action of what's going to happen.
Now, what if somebody approaches me and I say, oh, you know what, I've got keys and somebody showed me how to hold the keys, or I've got mace and I'm gonna spray you down. Could that easily be turned back around on me?
Anything that people carry that they're not trained on could be used against them. R.A.D does have a keychain program. They do have an aerosol program. They have an advanced program. They just incorporated a weapons program, which does knives and guns. So anything that you're going to be carrying, it's important to try to have some training in it before you're carrying it out there on the street.
Now, these recent situations, again, the women said guys approach them from behind. What's the biggest mistake that the people who become the victims make versus some of these girls? They screamed, they yelled, they got away. What's the take-home from this, the takeaway?
The thing over here is what we find is a lot of people feel it's not going to happen to them. That's a misnomer. The second thing here is not really being aware of the surroundings. When they're on the phone or they're texting or whatever, they may think they have their surroundings, but they're not. Even simply doing some jogging where they have their headphones. They need to have
they're zoning out.
Right, they're zoning out, that type of deal. Some of the things that we talk about were reinforced by their parents or by the safety officer of the police department, crime prevention specialists. A lot of things we focus on are risk reduction techniques.
All right, but thank you. I think the important thing for everybody thinking about it right now is what you said. Think about what you still have left, not what they've taken away. So let's check in with Brett now.